Welcome to the Rise Above Show with Patricia Joe Grover, where we turn believers into achievers. And I wanted to take a moment to thank our sponsors, 133 Approved Funding, because they say yes when the bank says no. They've been able to help businesses keep their doors open, keep people employed, and for businesses and things that have had to close and people having to start new adventures, they're there to help businesses get off the ground. And they also help um, people to be able to get finances for services such as what I provide or what my guest that's coming on, services that they provide. It's almost like getting a student loan. So if you want more information about 133 Approved Funding, you can contact me and I can get that information to you. But right now, I have my guest coming on, Shelly Dechant, and she is also going to be a speaker on the upcoming Rise Above Summit, speaking in the social dimension of life. So let me tell you a little bit about Shelly. She actually is a former member of the Canadian military. She has an extensive experience in HR, office management, relationship management, and virtual assisting. Shelly's known as a relationship building boss, and she's a certified OBM, which is an online business manager. She now helps entrepreneurs build and expand their successful businesses with everything that's involved in building an online business next to your brick and mortar life. The challenges of the daily grind can get overwhelming, and she feels it herself too. But her systems and processes help her to get through it, and she helps others to get through it too. Having a successful partner who works alongside you to help you manage your online team, implement your plans, and achieve your bodacious goals may be your next steps to business. So I am so happy to have you with me, Shelly.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
Yes, yes. So let's talk a little bit about. I have some questions for you. So I just mentioned a little bit of what the online OBM is. Can you explain a little bit more about what you're doing? And I hear that you're opening an agency.
I am opening an agency. So, an online business manager is what that actually states, right? If you have a storefront or if you have a brick and mortar business, you probably have a manager. Now, that might be you, or it may be somebody else that you brought in. But it's very common and normal. We all understand that having a business manager in your office is a great way to keep those relationships going and making sure that everything stays on track. As we started to move online, we became everything. Like every other business owner, you become everything in the business, and you end up having to learn how to do everything. Online marketing, online social media, managing, all the technology that's required, and all the learning that you need to do to learn how to use the programs that you've got. So over and above just taking care of your business, you've ramped it up. Right? We all look at being online as being that great place where we can meet endless people from all over the world, but it comes at a cost. And it comes at a cost of our time and sometimes our sanity, right? And, and when you start to grow, you then start to pick up virtual assistants who may be taking care of your daily schedule. They may be taking care of the technology that you have online. You got your social media managers, you got copywriters, you got graphic designers. Every step of the way, you're starting to add people to your team. And now you have to manage them. And that can be a challenge. So an OBM comes in, and not only do they help to manage your team, but they make sure that the processes are in place. Not only the technology processes and the operating procedures that most companies have to make sure that everything is standardized and easily duplicatable, but they also make sure that the steps aren't getting missed, that everybody's in their lane doing their correct job, that you're in your lane, because sometimes we as business owners can be our own worst enemy. And it's an interesting dichotomy as an OBM to say to, I'm going to use this as an example. Patty, you go to sleep at night and you wake up in the middle of the night and all of a sudden you get that flash of genius, right? We all get it. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming we all get it because I do. And then I might have to write it down on a piece of paper. I might have to get up, or I just pray that I can remember it all when morning comes. But now I have got this. Absolutely. It's genius. It needs to be implemented. I know it needs to be implemented. And so I'll get a client who will all of a sudden just send me all this information. It's my job to say to them, okay, no problem. Yes, this is a phenomenal idea. This is what we have in place right now for the next 90 days. What would you like to remove out of this so that we can create this bodacious idea that you have, right? What are we going to shuffle? What are we going to move? Or are we going to push that to the next 90 days or 3 weeks from now? So I keep track of the business schedule, right? I make sure that the business keeps running. I actually work for your business. And this is going to just freak you out, but I don't actually work technically for you as the client, because part of my major job is to make sure that your business can keep functioning, even if you are managing to step in the way. So I respectfully remind you that you have got a phenomenal new idea, but let's make sure it's happening at the right time for your business to continue to run in that line that you want it to go. So how's that for, yes, you are still in control of your business, but having somebody who sits there and gives you that reality check, we all need it sometimes, right?
So fantastic explanation there, Shelly, because and I can share with people that you and I have been working together. You're on my team, and that's the thing. And you're helping me to create the team for me to be able to expand what I'm doing with my business and know that the right people are in the right places doing the right things. And that's all what it's all about. And so from my show having been so successful that I decided to, go into doing the summits now that we're doing those quarterly, because as a goal achievement strategist, I help people to get from where they are to where they want to be in relation to personal and professional things. And, with that, it's encouraging, it's educating, it's empowering the viewers and listeners that are watching, and the businesses that I'm working with, having them as guests on the show, because it's helping them get more exposure. So on the show and on the summit, doing the same thing and reaching the masses. And so that's able for me to be able to help people on so many different levels. And then with the upcoming anthology book series, where the speakers can have contributing chapters to that. And then my heart is with women. Women, have that deep place in my heart. That's why I do the Bliss Retreat for Women on a quarterly basis, to help people, to help women be able to believe in themselves, love themselves, identify what's holding them back, set free what no longer serves them, and set course towards achieving their dreams and goals. And Shelly, you have partnered with me to help bring things together and to promote that event too. So I just want, this is an explanation for our viewers and listeners of the different things that an OBM can help businesses with. So Shelly, let me ask you, so with the agency that you're starting and you're bringing people in, how is it that you are finding these people to fill these spots?
Well, for me, relationship building, as a relationship building boss, I think that relationships are always the starting of anything, right? I mean, whether it's relationship with self or relationship with others. And in a business, it can be challenging to keep relationships moving forward and keeping them in your back pocket. But I have spent all of my time since I left the military. So I have actually been out of the military now 15 years, and I've been working for myself for 15 years. When I left the military, I had a great network of military people, but I had no network of entrepreneurs, people, like-minded people who are trying to strive to do and be an entrepreneur. And so I really had to start off from scratch. And I thank God for, I'm going to shout out to Joan Oikel, because she is a relationship specialist who she can create that referral system in places that you wouldn't even imagine. And I took everything that she taught me to heart. And I build those relationships. When I meet somebody, I take a look at, what they're doing for themselves, what they are doing for other people, how we can work together. So I have started to accumulate people who work within the online field, whether they are virtual assistants, social media managers, all those people that I have already explained. And I keep in contact with them, and I know how they work. And I know, I get to know who they would work best for. So part of my genius is the ability to bring those people together, because what I learned early on was I'm not the perfect fit for everybody. And everybody's not the perfect fit for me. But if you are building a network of people who collaboratively work together and meet regularly, I can say without any fear of losing business, you know what, I'm not the right person for you, but I know somebody who is. And because that came up in my need to make people, to get the answer for people, right? I have this innate need to try and get the answer for somebody. So the ability to refer them out is something that I've done for 15 years. Now I want to be able to say, no, we have the people on our team. So for the last 6 months, I have been going out and really having deep dive conversations with all of those online people, so that when I have contact with a client and they say, listen, I need somebody in this area and I'm looking for an OBM. Can you build a team for me? I am not only confident that I've built the correct team, but I'm making sure that that team knows you as the client, which I think is a different concept for an agency. A lot of agencies, they've got the team members backing them to get the work completed, but the employer, or the client doesn't necessarily know who's on the team. And what I'm doing is saying, my team is meeting you. So, if you were a new client, Patty, and you asked me to put a team together to complete a launch of a product, I would say, okay, we need these 3 people. We need these 4 people. We're going to have a meeting with them. And you're going to get to meet them and feel comfortable with them and start to build that know, like, and trust. Now, I am going to jump into being a sergeant major and say, you don't get to call the virtual assistant at 2:00 in the morning because you just had a great idea. You can't bypass me to get to the VA, right? You're going to know that they're doing their job. You're going to trust that they're doing their job, but you're also going to trust me to make sure that it's all being done. So I'm kind of that block to them, but you get to know who they are. You get to have regular meetings with them as a team as we build everything.
Fantastic, Shelly, and that's a great explanation. But I also want to go into there. You and I have been working together for a while, and you have joined because I have my private empowerment network and mastermind group that I operate on a weekly basis, and
Love it.
And you've been attending, and it's global. We have people that attend from all over the world and from many different genres and different industries that are bringing things to the plate. So people come in, they may be sharing, and we ask that they share, a struggle that they may be having or an opportunity they may be facing. And the mastermind, putting these like-minded people together. And again, they are not necessarily in the same industry even, but when you have the people that have those great thoughts and, be able to put together and give ideas and suggestions, that it's like I call people when they come and they're sitting in the hot seat, and I don't mean to be that and call it like that to scare people, but what it ignites you when you get
Absolutely.
that energy flowing in and from those people, it helps you set your business on fire.
Yeah. And I've been in the hot seat. You've been in the hot seat. We've had business owners who work in addiction in the hot seat. It's not about having like-minded businesses. It's about accessing all the brain power that we as solopreneurs have, that we can bring to the table. And because I like to think that a lot of times we end up inside of a box and we struggle to climb out of that box when we're the only brain in there. We can't think differently, right? We only have one way to think. So when you can bring people from all industries together like you do, Patty, and then they come up, and sometimes it's difficult, right? Like, just not be in the hot seat. You don't even have to be in the hot seat, but there's a pressure for you to be able to help and provide some valuable tidbit that person can go away with. But when you can, the energy that gives me when I'm doing that, that I get to take away from the meeting and now go back to work, and I am thinking differently.
Right.
And I am taking everything that people had said. The topic might not have had anything to do with my business. It may not have had anything to do with what I am trying to accomplish, but the brainstorming power and the ideas that come from it electrify you to the point where you are accomplishing more. Everybody succeeds when everybody puts in.
Exactly.
And I love it.
Yeah, and that's why I call it, the Empowerment Network and Mastermind, but where we think and network outside the box, and mastermind outside the box, because there's so many different things available to us now, and thank goodness for the technology that we have, that we can meet with people again globally, and you get so much input. So I just wanted to say that because you've met so many people through that to help expand your business. I have as well, and that's what it is. So not only do we come and share and help each other on that, that weekly basis, and there's that support system, but also from that, just the connections and collaborations that have been able to happen globally. And that's very much what you're doing with your relationship building, to find those right pieces because when these massive ideas and bodacious dreams and goals come into play, there has to be a way for that to be able to put together and put those pieces together so that it is a cog in motion. Because you can have all those dreams and goals, but until you take action, you're not going anywhere. So,
Correct.
So, Shelly, let me ask you just a couple more questions here. So, where do you see with your agency within the next year? Where do you see you being able the other services that you'll be able to provide clients?
Okay, so like everybody else, I don't know if everybody here has ever heard this, but when you're stuck with two hands in 24 hours, it's the great equalizer. Nobody gets, you can't pass that if you're by yourself and you're working on your own. It's part of the reason why I'm growing the agency. Currently, I am the OBM, and like everybody else who owns their business and moves from a business to a company, I also will have to let go and allow other OBMs to come into the agency and have their own team that I will then become the CEO of my business. I would like to see that happen, obviously, sooner rather than later, because I think that is how I can best serve as many people at one time. So that's where I plan to be a year from now. I plan to have a few OBMs on the team. I already have people who have asked to be part of the OBM level of the team. And there's only up from here. Patty, you have got, in my opinion, one of the best cycles of work going. It truly is a wheel, right? I mean, you start with this speaker opportunity for anybody to come in and have an opportunity to talk with you and to share on the Patty Jo Grover or the Rise Above show. And then it moves into the summit, where all the same people get to come into the summit and actually show their expertise and their glory within the summit and provide valuable information to all of the attendees who come. And then that moves into the, into
the Bliss Retreat for women.
The Bliss Retreat, thank you very much. That moves you into the Bliss Retreat, and it also gives you the opportunity to be part of your anthology book. And the cycle continues, and it starts back up again. And it's a 90-day plan. It's a quarterly system that keeps on running. And if we can all aspire to have that wheel that actually turns and doesn't have that break, then we can all be successful.
Thank you.
On that, you do so much for everybody, and your system isn't just set up about how do I in business make money. It's in how do I in business help other people grow and make money or find success as they deem success to be, because money isn't always the end all, right? We have a lot, especially as you get older, it becomes that hierarchy of needs. How do I be more for more people? And I really believe you have found the key to your success. And I hope to be able to help other people find their genius in the same way.
Thank you, Shelly. And with the support of Shelly and the team that she's creating for me, you'll continue to see the growth, and people that have been watching me have commented on can't believe all the stuff that you do. Well, again, I can't do it all myself. There's the behind the scenes and people like Shelly helping this mission get accomplished, because I want to help as many people as I can get from where they are to where they want to be. So Shelly, what kind of gifts do you have for our viewers and listeners?
So I have a brain dump, and this is a system where it's literally it's literally the brain dump of how to get from point A to point Z. Now, it comes out as a summit because, of course, that's one of the things that you and I did. And so I created this based off of that. And it literally not only dumps the brain so that you can see what it's like to do brainstorming. You can go in and you can actually see how my brain connects all the little strings that come out from the center project. But it also gives you the step-by-step procedures that you would need to do to launch your business, to launch your product. Start from the beginning, follow it through to the end, cut out whatever you don't require, and you've got everything that you require to launch your next product, service, or business.
Fantastic. And can you tell people your website and where they can find out more information about you?
Sure. My website's www.hellovrplus.com.
Fantastic. And so happy that you were with me, Shelly, here on the Rise Above show with Patricia Jo Grover. For anybody who'd like to find out more about me, you can go to patriciajogrover.com, and you can text the word GOAL, GOAL, to 26786. And you'll have things coming right to your inbox there. And again, I want to take a quick moment and thank our sponsor, 133 Approved Funding. They say yes when the bank says no. So definitely reach out to me if you have questions on that. And join Shelly and I on the Rise Above Summit. She's going to be speaking in the social dimension, because what is she? She is the relationship
marketing boss. Look at that. I don't even know what I am anymore. But I can guarantee you it's all about relationships.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for being with us. And we have a little video coming up. Thank you.
Bye.